to school night presentation. My name is Tina Zimmerman and I will be your child's teacher this year. You should have received a letter from me, and if you haven't, please let me know. I'm going to click through the slides and explain in greater detail. So please remember to write down any questions you might have as we go through each slide. One benefit of the slides in a virtual back to school night, you can refer back to the slides whenever necessary. I hope you are as excited to begin this school year as Mrs. Fromm and I are. We hope to see you Wednesday evening, and remember, Mr. Shore will be sending out specific time frames for us to meet. I will have your back to school night folder with me to give you. If you're not able to attend, it's okay. I'll send the folder home with your child on the first day of school. All right, so our first slide is just a welcome. I want you to really enjoy kindergarten. Our year is going to go very quickly and we do a lot of fun things. And so I just wanted to prepare you, take many pictures, and try to enjoy every minute of kindergarten. On Wednesday, when I see you, I'll give you the back to school night folder, and in the folder on the left hand side there is a show and tell schedule, star of the week schedule, and poster. Now, not all of my posters have come in, so I started at the end of the alphabet and assigned the kids. So probably the first 7 or 8 children will have posters, and as soon as the other posters come in, then I'll make sure that your child gets one. We have 2 projects, and the first one is the kissing hand, and there's directions in there. We're going to read a story, and then they just are going to make a hand to make them comfortable at school. And the environmental print one is finding words that your child already knows how to read. For example, Walmart, McDonald's, Target, and then you're going to send those words in. On the right hand side, some information on why is it important to read to your child, some questions you can ask them throughout the reading and after you read. There are number rhymes, the printing stages. Each child is at a different stage for printing. So if your child holds a pencil and scribbles all over the page, it's fine. That's just how they begin. Pencil grip advice, assessment information, and a calendar from Success by 6. It's a monthly calendar that every day gives an activity or a suggestion on how to bond with your child. You can read to them. Sometimes it's going for a walk. Sometimes it's just talking. It does offer some good book titles. It's a really neat calendar. Our kindergarten curriculum. So we teach a lot in kindergarten: religion, language arts, math, science, social studies. The curriculum can be found on the Harrisburg DIO website, and I provided the email address there. So religion, of course, is our most important, and it's cross-curricular. So even though we have a religion class, we still teach religion throughout the day, and it can be as simple as kindness, loving your neighbor, of course, Jesus, all the prayers. So it's not just a 45-minute class. It happens throughout, and we hope that it is carried throughout the classroom, throughout recess, when they're at the grocery store, when they're at grandma's. So we just are teaching them to be just kind, giving students. So religion, this is how we teach our religion. Many different ways, lots of religion stories and a lot of crafts. The crafts really help the kids remember that the religion stories that they read. Our theme this year is heroes, helping everyone reach our eternal salvation. So it goes actually with superheroes and our heroes throughout this virus. The nurses and doctors and grocery store workers and mail carriers and everyone who has band together to be essential and serve each other and the children. So that's actually an excellent theme this year. Language arts, our Wonders, is online. So that'd be very convenient if we happen to be at home learning virtually. Our handwriting book is religious based. We teach every single uppercase and lowercase letter. Popcorn words. Popcorn words are sight words. We call them popcorn words because they tend to pop up in reading. We will introduce 1 or 2 words a week. We'll send those words home in their homework bags, and then you just put those cards right on the popcorn word ring, and by the end of the year, your child will have over 80 words. Haggerty is something that this will be the 3rd or 4th year that we've been doing Haggerty. It's an excellent phonemic awareness lesson we do every day. It takes between 10 and 15 minutes, and it really boosts the assessment. It's initial sounds, ending sounds, rhyming, clapping syllables. It's really a neat program. Morning message is as the children learn their popcorn words, I will put a message on the board, very simple, maybe a color word, and they will copy the message. It's quite a skill to be able to look at the board and look at the paper, but that is something that's important and that will start the school year with. Word families are as we learn the letters, we'll learn them according to our reading series. And as we learn them, we'll put them together for word families, brainstorm words, and then we'll hang them up on the walls, which will help when we begin kid writing. Kid writing is, we can differentiate. Some children will be ready to do kid writing in a couple weeks. Some children will be ready in a couple months. So it's a blank page, and the kids are going to illustrate the page and then come up with a sentence. So it's very neat to just see the progression from the first entry to the last day of school. And the leveled guided readings, those go in the homework bag, and they're books that I've had in the classroom, but I also have leveled reading books that go with our reading series. So we will, as we meet for small group, we'll be using those books, and also I will be sending them home in the homework bags on Fridays, and you will keep the bag for a week and then send those books back, and then we'll give other leveled books the next week. Math, our math series is also online. It's called My Math, and these are some of the skills that we'll be teaching. A lot of them are differentiating also. Your child might already know how to count to 100, so we'll differentiate and we'll have them count to 120 or 150 or skip counting. So we try to challenge and still make learning fun. Understanding and using numbers through 31. The trickiest numbers are the teen numbers. They are difficult to remember, they're difficult to write, they're difficult to say. So we'll be working a lot with teen numbers. We do the calendar every day. Geometry will be shapes, and then we'll finish the year with addition and subtraction. Science, we have a lab learner program that we go once a week up to lab learner, and there's about 5 books that is for kindergarten, and the kids watch a video and then we talk about it and then we do the experiment. I also added thematic units. For example, when we talk about apples, we do science with apples and pumpkins. So science is kind of mixed in throughout too. The rest of the thematic units, we are doing nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes is a big skill. A lot of reading and a lot of rhyming. Nursery rhymes are very beneficial. So I'll ask you to remember that you can teach your child nursery rhymes. It helps to build the reading stamina that they'll need. Friends, apples, we celebrate day 50, dress up. We dress up for day 100. We do a transportation day, the farm, lots of fun things. Special days in kindergarten, and I put on the slide, we will do our best to celebrate these days this year. Some are easy to celebrate, some will be a little trickier, like Grandparents' Day. we'll still celebrate Grandparents' Day and, maybe do a video or a special project, or who knows, maybe by October the grandparents will be able to come in. So we'll make it work. Special classes in kindergarten, phys ed, arts and music. We will do computer, we will do Spanish at times, and library is a little bit difficult because of the books, but we have plenty of books in the classroom. As I said, I'll be sending leveled books home, and they will have their own books at their seat, so they will definitely have access to books. Take home folder. Take home folder is something that will be coming from me to you every single day. It will have homework in it, it will have their behavior chart, it will have my newsletter, anything that comes from the office. So it's something that you want to check every single day. And then you can send back notes or, questions or whatever you have. Homework. And I have homework nightly. Homework should be done nightly, but I don't want you to think it's going to be hours long. Kindergarten homework, 20 minutes. I'm hoping that you'll be able to come up with a routine where you read, go over the popcorn words, maybe do some counting. Occasionally I'll send some math papers home to do for homework, or maybe something that wasn't completed in school I'll send home to be returned the next day. Homework bags I have at the top. That's something that's individualized also. So we will send them home on Friday. They'll have leveled books. They'll have maybe some math counters. They'll have a numbers chart, a whiteboard, and then a homework log. So you will log what you do with your child. Reading for 20 minutes, going over the popcorn words. Be specific, because once we go over that, it helps us to know what you're able to accomplish at home and the needs of your child. For example, if your child is having trouble learning popcorn words and we see that you're going over them every single night, we're going to have to come up with a different system. Or maybe you don't have time to go over them and they're not being logged, so we can say try at least going over half of the popcorn words. It helps us to kind of figure out where your kids are. Homework bags. I talked a little bit about homework bags. They'll be coming home every Friday. You're keeping them for a week, and it is homework. So I have put in a safe place because you have to return everything that comes back to you, but don't hide it, because if you hide it, you'll forget it, and then your child won't be able to read the stories and practice what is sent. So just put it in a safe place and have that as your homework every night. And you can just read down through it. I mentioned the logs. Return the homework bag on Friday, and if you should have any questions, please let us know. Show and tell. So in the Back to School Night folder on the left-hand side will be a show and tell schedule, and I have the kids assigned to a special day. So for example, every single Monday will be whoever is on that Monday schedule. If we don't have school or your child is absent, it's okay. We're just not going to do show and tell then that week when they come back. Just have them be prepared for the next week. It's hard to keep track of who has show and tell, who didn't get to do it, who forgot it. So if they forget it, it's called show and tell, so they could tell something. Maybe they have a cool hat or a cool pencil or something they'd like to share. So we usually find something for them to tell about if they forget their own. With this year, we're just going to have them share it, talk about it, and put it right back in their bag. We never really do let them pass it around because we're afraid it will be broken and not make it back home, but especially this year, it will just be whatever they bring in, they will be touching, nobody else. Pete the cat. As you can see, Pete is sitting on my desk. He's a very important piece of K2. This is his fourth year with us, and he loves to visit his friends for the weekend. Um, this is totally up to you. You might decide, I don't really want Pete at my house. He is a stuffed animal, but I will promise you that he will be washed. He will be washed the Thursday before he goes to your house. So again, if you say, I don't really want Pete coming to my house, that's fine. We can find something else that might be a little bit easier to clean. He comes with a journal, and all that I ask you to do is just write maybe some fun things. You go for a walk, you go to church, and just include that in Pete's journal, and then we read it when we come back to school. Kids love it. School uniforms, if you're looking for any more information, you can check out the handbook, which is on our website. This is for the girls, and notice for their shoes, no laces. Um, it's really difficult to tie shoes all day long, and we want to make sure that they're safe. So we're asking for no actual shoelaces. And down here at the bottom, I don't know if you could see, small earrings are permitted. Anything that won't get caught on their mask and rip their ear, just small earrings are fine. For the boys, we ask that no laces for the boys either, and no belts. We don't want any potty accidents, so no belts, and no exaggerated hairstyles. No mohawks, no hanging in their eyes, just a nice clean cut haircut. Don't forget, please, please label everything, everything. I'll give the example of the PE uniform. So your child comes in, they have the t-shirt shorts on, they have the sweatshirt and the sweats on. I kid you not, when they take off their sweatshirt and sweats, it goes flying in the classroom. I say, no, no, fold it up, put it in your desk, put it in your backpack. But then they all look the same and they're not labeled, and then I have no idea whose is whose. So I ask for first names and class. Sometimes the sweatshirt might be in the gym or it might be outside, and so if you put initials, it's pretty certain I won't be able to figure out who it is. So label, label, label everything. All the supplies, water bottles, lunchbox, backpacks, masks, clothing, just a simple piece of masking tape, or whatever works for you, but labeling things makes it so much easier on all of us. Classroom management. Okay, classroom management, we do a couple of things. First of all, we praise, praise, praise. We redirect, so we try to keep the kids on the right track. We have a few visuals. We have expected behavior visuals. We have unexpected behavior visuals. We go through all of those, and they're hanging up so the kids can see always. We have a stoplight that has a green circle for green go, a yellow circle for stop and think, slow down and think, and a red circle for stop that behavior. We have clothespins, so everyone every day starts on green. If they are doing an unexpected behavior, we will redirect, we will talk privately. If it continues, they'll have to move their clip to yellow, and even sometimes red. Now, if it goes to red or yellow, they're still able to earn back a green day. So just because they made a mistake, it doesn't mean that they have to stay on red. Red is usually for serious behaviors, maybe kicking or throwing things or something that is definitely unexpected. So I did write that I will email you red behaviors. I'm only emailing you so you know. I don't want you to think that I'm negative and I only report the bad behaviors, or I'm tattling. I like to give you the information and my side of the story, so when your child comes home and you look at their behavior, you will be able to have a conversation and you will be in the know. Sometimes you might only hear half the story I tell you the full story, then you will be able to question your child and figure out really what went wrong. So, in the take home folder on the left hand side, there's a sheet of paper that's numbered from 1 to 180. So, at the end of the day, whatever color the clip is on, that is the color they color their day. So if they have a green day, then they color whatever number day it is green. If it's yellow, it's yellow, and if they're on red, it has to be red. Now, for 5 consecutive days that are green, they have to be consecutive, they will get to pick a prize. So every fifth day will count and they get to go to the prize box. Now, let's say they have 3 green days and a yellow day. After that yellow day, they have to start again with 1 green day. So it is a little bit of peer pressure. Somebody gets to pick out of the prize box and somebody does not. We just say, no big deal. Tomorrow's a green day, just keep a green. And if they have trouble keeping a green, then we'll work with them, we'll work with you, and then try and figure it out. So that is classroom management. We talk about responsibilities, expectations. This is all about the clips. And then we also do a kindness coin. This is when we see a child going above and beyond. So this year's a little bit different. They really shouldn't be picking up their friend's pencil, or, we do have to be careful this year, but anything that we see that is above and beyond, the children will earn a little kindness coin. In the years past, they had little buckets, and then they put their coins in their bucket, and that is based off a story called Have You Filled a Bucket Today?, which is a really cute story. Instead of a personal bucket, it's really your heart and your soul. Have you filled someone's heart with love and kindness, or did you dip out of their bucket and make them sad? So, kids are kind. They think about how they can be kind, and they love getting their kindness coin. So, I'm not sure if we're going to do a bucket. We might do some fancy little clear pencil bag or something, but they love to receive them. So our school hours, I'm going to say between 8 and 8:15. This is kind of trial and error for the first couple weeks. By the time the kids all have their temperature taken and they go to the cafeteria or they go to the classroom, or I'm going to say between 8 and 8:15, 8:20, they're going to be tardy. So the car riders, you want to get between 8 and 8:15. And the bus riders, they won't be marked tardy if they come in after 8:20. Attendance and absence. So if your child is coming in beyond 8:20, they'll get a tardy sheet, and they do count that on their report card. Absences are also counted. Just call in the office and let Ms. Evans know why your child won't be in school, and then you can just send a note in the next day. Transportation. So this is extremely important. If something should change with the way your child is going home, you must notify the school office. If it's something that you know ahead of time, you can write me a note. Please don't email me, especially if it's that day, because I will guarantee you I will not see it until 8 o'clock at night. So, for example, you always pick up your child at 3 o'clock, but you're stuck in traffic, so your neighbor is going to come and pick your child up, which is fine. Call the office and say, so-and-so is going to pick up my child. Make sure they have their ID and they have your car sign. Now, in the example that I just gave, you might not be able to bring your neighbor the car sign, but if you know somebody different is picking your child up, they have to have the sign. That sign tells me that it's okay for me to release your child to the person with the sign. Somebody different will have to show me their ID. We just have to be very careful and make sure that your child is not going home with someone they shouldn't be going home with. So again, please call the office. You should call before 2:30. and just say the arrangements for going home have changed. Please let Mrs. Zimmerman know. They'll call. They'll call me on the phone and tell me, and they will also announce it over the loudspeaker at the end of the day. Lunch will be a little bit different this year. We are going to eat in our classrooms. Your child has the opportunity of packing or buying a lunch. Now, you do have to register with School Cafe, um, even if your child won't be buying a lunch. Kindergartners don't get a school snack per se. Older kids can buy snack, kindergartners cannot. So the information that you see on the slide, the prices were last year's prices. So Miss Sue, who's in charge of the cafeteria, I sent her an email and she said she would get back to me as soon as she could with the correct pricing. So it could change. I'm not certain, but I wanted to give you an idea. You can add money to the account online, or you can send it in and put in an envelope, mark your child's name, and we'll send it to the cafeteria. The menu is available on St. Teresa's website. So it's also announced every morning, but it's nice for your child to know what is for lunch and then they can think about it. And then in years past, we had different color clips. This year we might be doing something different. So, but not to worry, we'll make sure that your child gets whatever meal he or she is hungry for. Snacks and water bottles. This year we're going to have a morning snack and an afternoon snack. We do ask that you provide both for just your child. Sometimes in the past, the parents were kind enough to bring in a bunch of bags of pretzels and then we just pass them out. We just thought this year it would be better if your child would bring maybe a granola bar or a little applesauce or something. Just please make sure it's labeled. It can be in a special bag, a little baggie with their name on it. It will stay with them. It will either be in their desk or their backpack, or usually we just throw them in a big bin and then take them outside or whatever, but this year we're not going to. So they need a morning and afternoon snack, and they are permitted to bring a water bottle. Please make sure that the water bottle is labeled clearly and that the lid fits properly. I can't tell you how many water bottle spills we have had. So please just make sure it's a secure lid, that when your child brings it in their backpack, that their backpack's not going to be soaking wet and all their books and all that. So just make sure the water bottle is secure and something that would be appropriate for school. Acronyms. So if you are a new family, you might have already seen in Mr. Shore's letters some of these acronyms. I just wanted you to know what they meant. The last two, the DIBELS and DRA, those are the assessments. So I think I might have already mentioned DRA. So if you're not sure what that means, it's just developmental reading assessment. Okay? And this is our assessments. We do both of the DRA and the DIBELS. We have talked about changing the assessment for this year, so that's a possibility. We will meet in October, a progress report and a parent conference, and then report cards come home November, March, and the last day of school. So we assess your child 3 times a year, at the beginning, right after Christmas, and then in May. Parent conferences will be held Friday, October 30th, and at this point, I'm not sure if it's in-person conference or on Zoom. It doesn't really matter. We'll still be able to meet. If you find that any time throughout the year you would like a conference, please, please don't hesitate to ask. I would rather that we meet as soon as possible and not let one of your questions or concerns kind of fester. So please, I'm happy to meet with you after school. I can talk to you on the phone, we can Zoom, whatever works. So on Wednesday, I will have the parent conference sign up, and then you'll be able to sign up then. Masks. So mask, I'm sure your child has been wearing on and off this summer. we require your child to wear a mask to school, leaving the classroom, and at dismissal time. So, if you are interested in sending a second mask, maybe in a baggie if your child should drop theirs on the floor or in the bathroom or whatever, you can send an extra mask. If not, something like that would happen, we have other masks we can provide. Also, they'll get a face shield. So, I guess what you I'd like you to do is just talk to your child about what your expectations are for them. Do you want them to wear a mask? Do you want them to wear a face shield? One or the other, both. Now, K2's classroom is set up with 15 desks. They are 6 feet apart. So, actually, sitting at their desk, they don't need their mask. Now, once they get up and walk around, they're going to have to put their mask on. But even the front row, if I'm teaching at the front of the room, they are still 6 feet from me. So, will I still wear a mask? Probably. I would make sure that I was safe and your kids are safe. But I'm just saying that there is plenty of room in the classroom. If you're comfortable, they don't have to wear the mask and the face shield all the time. But please let your child know your expectations. And this is just how to wear a mask. I know it's going to be tricky. They're going to want to take it on and off and play with it, and it's going to be on the floor, and they're going to think someone else's is cool, and they're going to want to try to wear that one. And obviously, we'll teach the procedures, and it's been so long, I'm sure they already know, but they'll have hand sanitizer. We'll wipe the desks, so we'll be busy cleaning, and I think we have to take temperatures in the morning when they come in, and then in the afternoon too. So they'll be well taken care of. Parent-teacher communication. As I said before, please don't hesitate to call, to email me. I will get back to you in a timely manner. I will be teaching virtually, so I'll be doing some lessons and some recordings, so I can't guarantee when I will answer the email. It could be 8 o'clock at night, could be at 3:15, so I will sit down and check my email daily. If there is a concern or a problem, if you need to call the school, like I said, transportation, please feel free to call the school. Thank you so much. I hope you don't have a lot of questions. If you think of any, email me. I'm happy to answer them, or I can answer them on Wednesday. But I hope I covered a lot of what you were thinking about. As for the actual day, we haven't really got our schedules yet when our specials will be. Again, it will be trial and error. I tried to do reading in the morning and math in the afternoon. We'll have a couple of recesses. So we have our in-service this coming week. So I don't have all the details, but that is what I think our day will look like. So please let me know if you have anything you'd like to talk about. Okay, I hope to see you on Wednesday, and thank you, thank you.